First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushai Ba'ashim, Rokah Kodash. Yahweh is to this world, ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is to this world, ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashim means in the name, Rokah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's video, I wanted to go into how these words are life. Okay, the words of the scriptures are life. Okay, are the most important thing that you can ever come across. And the reason I'm making this video is because, if you've been believing for a while, you might get in that routine of just, hearing the word and going about your day and just in the routine of doing. You get in the routine of reading and praying, and it's a routine. But what comes with routine a lot of times we don't realize is we forget the actual importance of what we are doing. So you don't really meditate on why am I doing this? You just do it because you do it. And today I had that realization once again. I was talking to somebody in the world, one of my cousins, which I told him about the word like 3 years ago, but recently, he called me today. We started chopping it up, and yeah, I can tell that the Lord, was opening his mind because he was going into how, hey, everything you're telling me right now about the scriptures, it makes sense. And I was breaking down some things, and hey, I was seeing, his face through the FaceTime, just his mind opening, his face of shock when I tell him certain facts, certain scriptures and points. He was just shocked, and that face that he made, it like relit something inside of me, which made me realize that hey, these words are powerful. Okay, these words are powerful, and we have to always remember that if you're a brother out there doing the work, or you're just a believer that spreads the word, what you're doing is a powerful act. Okay, you're awakening the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So let's read this in John chapter 6 and verse 63. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." And that is so true. Because when you give somebody this word, you break down what's going on in the world, you break down the prophecies, you break down how the Lord's coming back. What that does to a person is it puts life back into them. Because they realize, hold up, I actually have a hope now. I actually have something to look forward to. Our people, the majority of our people, their mentality is they're realizing that this shit is a death trap. It's a rat race. That there's no getting out of this. The taxes and the oppression, the wickedness. There's no getting out of this. So a lot of our people lose hope. I've seen videos of Jake, out here talking about, is this what life really is? Working 9 to 5 and 9 to 5 and 9 to 5 and 9 to 5 and getting taxed and everything getting more expensive and I gotta work two jobs and, just going on and on and on and on. And they're crashing out because they're realizing that this is hell. But what this word does is, when you truly understand it, it puts life back into you because your mindset is now shifted completely and you have hope. Okay, you have hope in this place going down. As the world goes down, as the world collapses, people are gonna crash out more and more. They're gonna get more and more depressed because they're attached to this place. But this word, it detaches you from the world and makes you want that destruction to come. Because you realize that in order for the kingdom to be established, this world has to go down. So that's life. Okay, we are seeking a kingdom to come. Okay, I think that's Hebrews. For here we have no continual city. Hebrews 13 and 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Right? What you call a city, you call your neighborhood. Right? You might own your house, but it's not really yours. Stop paying those taxes at the end of the year and watch how they come and repo it. Right? So we don't have anything here. But hey, we're seeking a city to come. We're seeking the kingdom of heaven. So that right there is life. Okay, eternal life. Right, when you read John 6 and verse 68, I'll start at verse 66. It says, "From that time many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Yahushua unto the 12, Will you also go away? Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life." Right, so where are we going to go if you got the words of eternal life? And that's the truth. Is I always used to think, my mindset in the past and even today, but I haven't really thought about it much like this anymore. But when I really be going through, those tough times, that temptation, I'd be like, okay, if I were to fall out right now, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back into the world, go back to smoking weed, being lost in the sauce, drugged out? Is that what I'm going to go back to? And I think, nah, there's nothing to go back to, right? This is the way. And hey, if your life is difficult, guess what? Suck it up. Hey, pray to the Lord, because this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, the straight gate, the narrow path, a path of difficulty. Okay, it says, hey, you shall enter through much temptation shall you enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? This shit ain't gonna be easy. But guess what? We have a purpose. And that purpose is so strong that if you truly believe, no matter what happens to you, you're gonna get up and keep pushing. So let's read this in Ezekiel chapter 37, because this is what's happening. Ezekiel chapter 37, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "The hand of Yahweh was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry." Right? And when you go into what this is talking about, I'm going to jump down to verse 11. It says, "Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts." Right? So those bones were significant. We're talking about the Israelites, and going into how spiritually we were dead. Okay, we had no spirit. We were just, as it says, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, scattered, made to serve other gods that our fathers neither us knew. So that was part of the curses. But part of the prophecy was also this. When you go to Baruch chapter 2, and you go to verse straight to the point, 30, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." Right? So, yeah, we were going to be scattered, but in all the places where we were scattered, we are going to remember who we are. And that is what's happening right now. So verse 10, "So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army." And that is what's taking place, is that the Israelites are waking up. And today, I had a glimpse of that. Okay, the Lord put me into remembrance as to what I'm actually doing, to not lose sight in the power that he has given me, and he is giving you believers out there, that this word is that breath. And hey, when that breath comes upon the elect, hey, they are going to live and stand upon their feet. Okay? And I saw it today, man. Just telling, my cousin things, and I could just see his spirit opening up. That breath coming into him. And, Lord willing, he repents. He gets right. He understands what's going on, and he makes it to the end, because that'd be a beautiful thing. But I wanted to make a quick video over that. Hopefully it was edifying and brought out some information in the right mindset, and a remembrance to always remember the power that you have. Hopefully it was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushua Ba'ashim, Rokah Kodash. Double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of great millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you elect. Shalom.